Allah is the one that all the other names belong to. وَلِلَّهِ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. And this explains for us why this name is so powerful. It is the primary name of Allah because it incorporates all of the other names. It necessitates all of the other names. How so? We already said the meaning of this noun is the one who is worshipped. This is what the term means. The one who is worshipped. Okay, so the one who is worshipped must also be Rahman and Rahim and Malik and Qudus and Sami' and Basir and Ghafoor. If the one who is worshipped was not Sami', he doesn't deserve to be worshipped. If the one who is worshipped is not Rahim, he doesn't deserve to be worshipped. So because Allah is Rahman and Rahim and Malik and Qudus and Aziz and Jabbar and Mutakabbir, so therefore He is worshipped. So the name Allah is the most comprehensive name because it incorporates all of the other names. The one who is worshipped must have the most perfect names and attributes, or else he wouldn't be worshipped. So Allah is Sami' and Basir and Ghafoor and Rahman and Rahim. Otherwise He would not be Allah, meaning the one who is worshipped. And therefore this name is the most powerful name. And that is why many of our scholars said that the Ismullahil A'zam is Allah. Now pause here, footnote. What is Ismullahil A'zam? We find a reference in a hadith to something very amazing. The grand name of Allah, the biggest name of Allah, Ismullahil A'zam. Our Prophet ﷺ said, there is an Ismul A'zam, there is the grand name that when it is used in a dua, Allah must respond to that dua. But He didn't tell us what that name is. And our scholars differed over 10 different opinions. And the two most common ones, the grand name of Allah is the combination of Al-Hayy Al-Qayyum. That's one opinion. And the other opinion that is also mainstream, these are the two main ones, is the Ismullahil A'zam is none other than Allah itself. It is Allah itself. That is the Ismullahil A'zam. The grand Ismul A'zam is the name of Allah. And both opinions have merit and validity to them. Nonetheless, if you look at it, almost all of the adhkar and the du'as in the Qur'an, they use the term Allah. In fact, the four primary adhkar, everyone should know there are four primary adhkar around which all the other adhkar hover and circle over. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. These are the four primary adhkar. Subhanallah, walhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, wallahu akbar. Look at it. Every one of them has what name? Allah, Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, La ilaha illallah, Allahu akbar. Of the unique characteristics of the name of Allah is that it is extremely easy to pronounce. There are no hard consonants. It's just an expulsion of air along with a movement of the tongue. Allah. That's it. There's no hard consonants. There's a minimal movement. The lips do not move at all. And this is the ease. And that is one of the miracles and the beauty of this name. Of the interesting facts about this name of Allah is that it is the only word in the Arabic language in which the double L has a special pronunciation. Typically, if the lam has a shadda, we just say Allah, Allah. But the name of Allah, to show it respect, we do something called tafkhim. We do something called heaviness. And all of us, we pronounce the name not as Allah, but as Allah. That heaviness is only for this name. It doesn't exist in any other word in the Arabic language. Why? Because we're showing respect. We're making it ta'zeem and tafkhim. We're making the lam heavier. And this is how we pronounce the name. Unless there's a kasra before it, then we say Lillahil hamd. Otherwise, Alhamdulillah. Or Allah, we say the heavy L. If there's a kasra, then we say Lillah, we make it light. Otherwise, when there's a fatha or a dhamma before it, we pronounce the lam as heavy. And also of the unique characteristics of this name of Allah is that over 33 verses of the Qur'an, they begin with the word Allah. There is no other name of Allah that a verse begins with other than Ar-Rahman. That's it. These are the two names that Allah begins verses with. And Ar-Rahman only one or two times. But Allah is the beginning of over 33 verses. And one of the things that our scholars have said as well, it's a bit of a mystical, if you like, interpretation, and there's no harm inshallah ta'ala in mentioning it. But one of the things that is mentioned by our scholars is that the name Allahu, if you keep on getting rid of the letters, it still gives you the meaning. So Allahu, if you get rid of the alif, you say lillah, lillah. And if you get rid of the lam, then you get ilah. If you get rid of the alif, you get hu. And so even if you keep on cutting everything, you get to the pronoun, the divine pronoun. And this is a mystical interpretation. Nonetheless, there's nothing wrong with mentioning it. And I conclude by mentioning a beautiful quote from Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala. When he mentioned about this beautiful name, he said that as for the effects of uttering this name, then how can we clarify in a list how powerful this name is? For this name combines all of His perfections and beauties. Never is this name mentioned over a small quantity except that it enlarges it, or during fear except that it removes it, or during distress except that it eliminates it, or during constriction except that it widens it. And no weak person utters the name of Allah except that he becomes strong by uttering that name. No poor person utters it except that he becomes rich. No humiliated person except that he becomes honorable. And no scared person except that he finds comfort and becomes courageous. And he says, Ibn al-Qayyim says, this is the name through which difficulty is removed, through which blessings are procured, through which dua is answered, through which weakness is overcome, through which evil is repelled, and through which good is sought. And this is the name upon which the heavens and the earth have been established, and the books revealed, and the prophets sent with. Every prophet came with the name of Allah. This is the name through which Allah established the Sharia. And it is this name that divides believers from unbelievers. Those who believe in Allah are believers, those who reject are unbelievers. And it is this name that will make the scales heavy, that will make the cross on the bridge successful, and the gates of Jannah will be opened. So he who knows this name and believes in it shall be successful, and he who ignores it and rejects it shall fail. End quote from Ibn al-Qayyim. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cause the love of Him and belief in Him and tawakkul in Him to take root in our hearts.